mostly empty, rather than dire. The air is dusty and not fetid. There are a few places for monsters to hide. Continue to walk. Let's just continue going this way. Make your slow way across the endless waste. As the morning moves on, the wind begins to rise. Crest of a low rise, you can look down across the barren waste, offering something of a view. Let's look east. Unusual spiked rock formation. Look north. North, a deep, dark gash seems to cut across the land. Must be a fissure of some kind. South, got a single tree lifting dead branches into the gray sky. And that's all there is to see. Somewhere east of the Badubak Ridge is the famed forest of Snada. Perhaps it's a place a serpent might hide. Let's check out that tree. Carry on tramping across the dusty plains, keeping your eyes and ears open for warnings of danger. The sun is hot now. After a while of walking, you see nothing to break the monotony. Too tall and thin for a skewer of rock or a building. Cannot place it until you get close. It's a single tree, leafless and dead, tilting out of the desolate soil. Let's look up at the tree. The tree must be the last remnant of an ancient forest. Though why this particular trunk has survived when all the others fell is not clear. And that is not all. A rope ladder hangs from one of the higher branches of the tree. Let's climb the ladder. Rope ladder to get a view across the lands, but the branches seem to be alive, twisting and bending as you climb. They're closing in around you like a trap. Carnivorous tree? Untie the ladder. Some ladders are thick with age, but you manage to work them free. The branch underneath seems to lift in relief as it is removed. A moment later, another branch draws backward behind you. It releases, knocking you painfully to the ground. You almost hear a sound almost like a laugh. Look back up at the tree. Who's there? You demand, stranger. The voice is faint yet echoing, stranger. Look for the speaker. Look around. Behind the tree, over your shoulder, an endless plain stretches away in all directions. No one else is in sight. Let's look up at the tree. Branches, the tree. To find the bare twigs have curled themselves into a human face. An old man's face that looks down at you with an overturned mouth. Stranger, the tree declares wistfully, you are lost. What makes you say I'm lost? All who enter this place are lost, the face replies sadly. This is a land accursed. Every soul within is lost. Must reach Mampang. Reply. Thinking way too late that this face might be one of the serpents in disguise. When your moment of fear passes, the tree does not react with alarm or glee. Mampang lies across the mountains, far away in every direction. Too far, too high, too long ago. The tree sighs with despair. The crown wreaks destruction, stranger. Which way should I go? Flutter and break in a sudden gust of wind. His face disappears for a moment. You seek the whereabouts of Shadrach of Badubak, face declares. Where will I find him? Turn like a leaf in the morning, the face replies, sighing a deep sorrow of ash and autumn color. The fishtail rock, he is expecting you. Stronger breeze catches the branches and disturbs them. When they settle, the faces disappeared. Come back! Wait. Fishtail rock. Fishtail rock. Rises in the east, sets in the west. So east is this fished. That, maybe? What is going on? But the tree basically told me to go east. Wasn't this desert when I first got here? Yep, Sham. The Fishtail Rock. So you meet the edge of an old road. The sun has reached the highest point now. The shade, the air is baking hot. The road snakes across the dust bowl. In the near distance, you make out something through the haze. Not a tower, but a spire of rock. It seems to flicker strangely. Behind you, a voice says, "Excuse me." Turn around. Any direction. Where are you? Where are you? You call out, half expecting flanker to materialize up from the dust to greet you. There is no reply. Cold wind whistles all around you. The plains feel suddenly far emptier than a moment before. Continue along the road. Marked cliff. We're already at noon. I'm curious about a marked cliff, but I'm more curious about this. You follow the old road. Heat beats down from an empty sky. The road forks here with the main path snaking up the mountainside to the east. Rocks have tumbled down the slope and all but covered the road. Look east. You cast your gaze east towards the towering Badobaka Ridge. The main peak is lost in the haze, at the end of a long, winding road that climbs the slope. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Look north. Looking north, the road runs along the rocky edges of the foothills. Particularly a plus of stone stupa stands out a little way along. Stone shifts and moves underfoot as you walk. It really seems to be pointing me towards this thing right here. I'm curious about the mountain path, even though it said it was mostly fallen. This is what I'm interpreting Fishtail Rock is. The ground underfoot turns into rocks and scree. The sun begins to dip, heading towards the horizon. Pause and rest in the shadow of a large rock spire that sticks up from the dirt like a claw through cloth. Look at the rock. It's a single shattered spire, perhaps once part of a mountain range to the mountain range to the east, or perhaps driven up through the ground by some geological quirk. The base of the rock is the mouth of a cave. Look inside of the cave. Just cave with one hand on your blade, remembering the giants in the hills outside Kar. The cave appears to go back some distance into pitch blackness. Someone seems to have scratched a message in the rock inside the cave. It's only legible. Just legible, and it must be ancient. Let's read it. Stranger, I am waiting. Very long ago, summon you. my name to the skies, and I will blank 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 Adra blank blank blank. Calling out a name. For first noble. Flanker? I don't think we'd want to summon our ally to this terrible place. Also, I don't think it would work. None of these names seem to be the name that's right there. Shadrach? You cry out the name across the plains, and the echo seems to set off a distant avalanche. The ground begins to shake and rumble, and you stagger to your knees. The earth is moving, as though it was splitting or merging back together. You reach around to steady yourself, only to find the grass is growing up between your fingers. Steadily, to your feet, feeling sick and unwell. Everything around you is the same, but everything is different. The rock has two spires, for one thing. The cave seems smaller and darker. The fire pit built into the scrub. Its mouth is a fire burning. From inside you hear the gentle sound of singing. Approach the fire. Call out for Shadrach. Abruptly, there's a coughing and wheezing sound, and an old man hobbles out of the cave, limping on a stick. This must be the Shadrach himself. You recognize the face as that of the tree spirit you met earlier. Ah, it's you, he declares, speaking thickly through his beard. I've been expecting you. He waves a hand around the landscape. Welcome back. What was that magic? The rock grew back. He nods with pleasure. Does the rock fall? It's very interesting. Please, gestures to the fireside. Join me by the warmth of the fire, will you? I get quickly cold. Let's sit down. Nod your head and sit down. He does the same, leaning his stick against the edge of the fire pit. Do not be surprised or alarmed. I know your mission. Of course, I know all about you. And you know about me, I hope. My name is Shadrach. What do you know of me? I know where you came from. I know where you're going. And that is all one can know about anyone. Don't you think? He smiles. I know you journey here from Kar. Tell me, how fares the city? It stands still. Deeply. Watch an army of marsh goblins scale the cliffs armed with swords and axes. He said, there should be smoke rising at the horizon, but I see no such thing. Grabs a handful of dry grass from the ground, tosses it into the fire pit where it blazes. For a moment into flame. He appears to change topic. I must warn you that no one from Analan has ever crossed the Baklands alone and survived. I'm told the land is cursed. Indeed it is, he answers. The very rocks and earth here are lost. Things become unstuck. He gestures to the rock behind him. You've seen it already. Can this curse be lifted? Appears to consider this for a moment, then finally replies, no, probably not. Stretches his fingers as he speaks, twisting them together. The old world and the ancient world have grown together like thorny bushes. To journey through one is to journey through the other. Serpent ring. I want to see. What is that? I can't look at it, but I've got it. Can I just... I have the option to show him the serpent ring. I don't know what it means. You know what this is? Accepts it thoughtfully. Turning the other item in his stick palm. I have never seen one, he says. Say it was a serpent ring. Only 2 or 3 of these in the ancient world. Or just one, going round and around. You can never be sure. What does it do? It's a component of a spell, he replies. Quite what spell, I fear I do not know. I'm no sorcerer, you understand. Let's ring back to you.